From Ohio softball field on the banks of the Hocking, this is Max Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Alongside Chloe G. Workman, I'm Carl Blaylock, and we've got games 2 and 3 today here at Ohio softball field. Yesterday, Ohio able to take down Toledo 2-1, and that was on the back of a real pitcher's duel yesterday, Chloe.
You're right about that one, Carl. I mean, for Ohio, Skip Miller was pitching, and she threw 5 strikeouts, no walks. She only allowed 3 hits, and on those, 1 run. I mean, it was just absolutely phenomenal. And Erin Hunt, you know, she was very successful there for Toledo. She really showed off everything she had, a lot of movement on every single pitch that she had. The only real mistake she let up was she let Shelby Wessler get a 2-run home run, and that was all it took for the Bobcats to be able to score. There was only 1 error, or 0 or 1 error throughout the whole entire matchup, and so it was just some real good softball yesterday, and I think we're going to see a little bit of a change of pace today.
That we will, as pitching for the Bobcats today is the graduate player, Kylie Kofeld, graduate from Beloit, Ohio originally, transfer from Duke in 2021, and she'll face against Leah Munson first off for the Rockets. We'll get through the Toledo lineup here throughout this first inning, but Munson up first, the senior left fielder. Didn't play much last year due to injury, but before that was all defensive team in the MAC, the senior from Harrison Township, Michigan, and that's going to be right up the middle. Kofeld going to knock it down. It just barely gets out of the circle. It's going to be an infield hit for Munson.
A nice start right there for Munson, and we talked to Coach Jessica Bracamonte from Toledo earlier this week, and she said that whenever Leah Munson's at her best, the rest of the team is at their best. She struggled a little bit in the leadoff position yesterday, but as we can see, already hopping out and getting a hit, getting things really rolling for the Rockets early.
And now Anna Dixon up to bat, the fifth-year right fielder. She's going to square to bunt and lays down a good bunt. Throw over from Wessler over to Dawn. It's going to be ground out 5-3. But the runner will move up on the sacrifice. And Jenna Kroll now up to bat, the junior designated player today, batting .336 on the season. .24 RBIs, and she's definitely got a chance to get an RBI here. Really lining up at the back of the batter's box here. Gonna foul the first one off.
That's not something you typically see. Typically you're wanting to move forward in the batter's box to kind of eliminate any movement that might be on the pitch, but hey, everyone has their own methods, so whatever works for her.
Her methods have definitely worked. As looking at her OPS, it's above 1. Slugging percentage is at .593, as that pitch is going to be a strike. Great pitch there by Kofeld, and quickly Kroll's down 0-2. Runner on second, 1 out, top of the first here in this first of 2 games today of this 3-game series between Toledo and Ohio. Kofeld delivers, and swing, and a foul tip out of the glove. We'll do it again at 0-2.
That was the changeup from Kofeld. And we've seen Jenna Kroll, she got a little bit too in front of it. She hit that one off the very, very end of her bat. See if Kofeld comes back with a fast one here.
Here's the pitch. And that one's going to be lifted out to center field, high in the air. Able to grab it will be Yaz Logan, and that will be 2 outs now. As the cleanup batter, Riley Moore, comes to bat. Moore with .341 batting average. That leads the team. 24 RBIs on the season, started 41, all 41 of Toledo's games. This is a Toledo batting that it's really kind of in the middle of the pack in the MAC, but the one thing that jumps out to me is they have the least amount of strikeouts in the league, as first pitch is going to be a ball high, 1-0. So what that's going to mean for Kofeld is that she's going to have to work to get pitches to where she's going to have to work to get Toledo to swing.
Yeah, you're right about them having the least amount of strikeouts. They only had, aside from yesterday, they only had 11 throughout 5 games, but they had 5 yesterday. So, I mean, you never know what's going to happen. They struggled a little bit yesterday, but they're going to have to pick things up if they want to get back at it.
Moore gets just a tiny piece of that one and sends it back to the screen. Count now at 1-1.
Moore went 0-3 yesterday. Struggled a little bit for her.
Here's the 1-1 pitch outside. 2-1 the count now. Moore, a senior from Bellevue, Ohio. And there's a lot of Michigan presence on it, but a few Ohio players on the bench. They have a few players from Lancaster and Tays Valley, as that pitch is going to be low. 3-1 the count now.
Yeah, being up there in Toledo, you do kind of have your pick on if you want to recruit in Ohio, recruit in Michigan. It makes it real easy for them.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. High, it's a walk.
Now that's something we don't see very often from Ohio, from either pitcher. That was only her 26th walk on the season. And yesterday, Ohio didn't walk anybody. So, like I mentioned before the game, we're going to see a very different change of pace here. And we already are. And Coach Bracamonte having a word with her catcher down there, Aubrey Reed.
Yeah, Reed up the bat. She's batting .264, 10 RBIs on the season. Definitely trying to play to run here early.
Now, Aubrey, she's had 8 hits in the last 5 games, but when asked what really was the change, like what was her biggest takeaway from her approach, she said that she's going to make a mental adjustment, and she knows that this is her last season, so she wanted to kind of clear her mind and quit overthinking. You got to make the most of every at-bat when you're a senior.
Absolutely, as that first pitch is going to be just a little bit high, a ball. Reed was on the 2019 All-MAC freshman team. There's quite a few, obviously 2019, Toledo able to win the MAC, and there's still quite a few players from that team. Here's the pitch. High again, 2-0, and Caulfield, she's trying to get them to swing at that just right at the top half of that zone, as we're going to get a timeout here. A mound visit.
Yeah, I think that's what Caulfield's trying to do, because yesterday they were chasing a lot of those high and outside balls, and I'm going to say that Coach Bracamonte and the rest of their staff over last night definitely had a talk with the girls and said, hey, you need to stop chasing those balls. Remain aggressive, but if it's going to be out, let it be. So that might be a little bit of a tweak in the mindset here for the Rockets while they're at bat.
I want to make a correction. Munson officially is going to reach on an error. So that was an E1 to start off the inning. So Toledo still no hits, with Reed trying to get one to play to run. 2-0 count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Low now, 3-0 the count.
I think Caulfield is going to have to kind of find her groove here, and sometimes it takes a couple innings to really just get yourself going.
Here's a 3-0 pitch. Outside, it's a walk, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
That's what, 8 straight balls for Kylie Caulfield?
I believe so. That'll be Lauren Erickson up to bat, and she certainly knows how to have RBIs, score RBIs. Only 15 this year, but 6 of those coming in one game. She actually has a school record for RBIs in a game from last season, April 29th, 2022. She had 6 in a game against Northern Illinois, and that one out to right field. Diving catch just beyond the reach of CeCe Cadell. 2 runs and a third to come in, as it's a triple for Lauren Erickson.
Wow, and just like you were saying, RBIs, that's what this girl does best. Lauren Erickson, an electric way to start the game for her. On 2 outs, no doubt.
3 RBI triple with the bases loaded. And just like that, Toledo now leads 3-0 on just 1 hit, as Kendra Vanderlucht up to bat.
Vanderluck, this is only the third game she started this season. She started yesterday at third base. Had a lot of really good plays over there. But yeah, it's only the third game that she started, so it's interesting to see her kind of getting put in here late in the season, late in the MAC.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 0-2, and those are both big cuts, and I guess you should expect it from Vanderluck, who has second in MHSAA history for most home runs in a single season, had 26 in her senior season in high school at Otsego High School in Kalamazoo, Michigan. As here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's going to roll to the plate. 1-2 the count now.
Yeah, she's only played in 8 games this season, and 4 of those are the last 4 games. So maybe Coach Bracamonte seeing that she's really stepping up for her team. I mean, she got a hit yesterday. No RBIs, but it was a nice single for Toledo.
Here's the pitch. Just outside. 2-2 the count.
3 runs already for Toledo. That's as many runs as we saw yesterday combined. So tell this is going to be a good hitting day for both teams.
Foul delivers the 2-2. Fouled off. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Yet another one caught off the very end of that bat. I think that has to be something to do with Kylie Kofeld's changeup, catching them off guard.
Vanderluck ready. So as Kofeld delivers. Outside, and the count runs full.
I think Kofeld's struggling to keep that ball in that zone on that outside corner. She's letting it get away from herself a little bit too much. I think she needs to get out of this inning and maybe 1-1.
That one drilled foul down the left field line. Only by about a foot. Very good contact there by Vanderluck.
And Coach said part of Kylie Kofeld's arsenal, I should say, is she has that down ball mentality. She likes to keep her balls low in the zone, likes to throw the drop ball a lot, and an unbelievable changeup, words of the coach.
Here's the pitch, and that one just a little chopper. O'Brien's got it. Toss over to first, and Ohio's able to get out of the inning, but not before Lauren Erickson plates 3 with a 3 RBI triple. We head to the bottom of the first. Toledo leads 3-0. Bell Hummel to lead it off for the Bobcats, already finding themselves down 3-0, and they're going to be going up against Sophia Knight for the Rockets in the circle. What's Knight look like so far this year?
Sophia Knight is a bit different of a pitcher than what the Bobcats faced yesterday in Aaron Hunt. Talking to Coach Bracamonte earlier in the week, she said Sophia focuses more on her speed and the power of her pitches, and that's really kind of what she does to keep her hitters off balance. But Bell Hummel yesterday went 4 for 4.
Definitely seeing that speed so far as a 1-1 count.
Excuse me, I should say 2 for 4. I had the wrong number pulled up there. all singles. She had a really successful day. Seeing one strike, see how she can do against the other type of pitcher.
2-1 the count, and I don't. Do you have a little bit of struggle with command? As here's the pitch, and that's a strike right down the middle, 2-2. Do you have a little bit of struggle with command when you try to pitch that fast as Knight pitches?
Sometimes pitchers, they can be a little bit more inaccurate if they are completely focused on their speed, but we'll have to see.
That's going to be fouled off back to the screen. We'll do it again at 2-2 for Belle Hummel. Hummel batting .308 on the season. It's 31 strikeouts, though. Hoping to avoid 32, but she does with a swinging strikeout, 32nd strikeout of the year for Hummel. For Knight, that is her 67th of the season. 1 out for Yaz Logan.
A nice start right there for Sophia Knight. Belle Hummel, I mean, after yesterday, she's an intimidating player to face. She had an amazing outing yesterday, not even just at the plate, but in the field as well. So a big out right there for Toledo.
First pitch, a strike, catching the outer half of the plate.
I think that's what Kofeld's trying to do as well, is stay on that outside, and that's a beautifully placed pitch for Knight.
That one chopped over the first baseman's glove. It's down the line. Logan going to try for 2. It's going to be close, sliding in safely. Logan with a double.
Now, that's a hit right there that not every player is going to get a double out of. Yaz Logan really, when I saw her rounding first going hard, I kind of held my breath a little bit. But, hey, she knows her speed and knows what she's capable of. But just the pure speed is what pushed that one for her to get 2.
Yeah, I mean, that was only about 30 feet behind first. It just went over the first baseman Moore's glove. Is up to bat Alexis Daw, and Daw's going to send that one to second base. It kind of ate up the second baseman. It's close. It's safe. Mara had problems with the ball, unable to corral it, and Daw able to use her speed and get there just safely. So runners on the corners, 1 out for Emma Hoffner.
Once again, just chopping that ball right down into the ground. I think where it was messed up out there for Mara, I think she kind of waited back and she kind of let the ball play her. I think if she would have attacked straight towards that ball, she might have came up clean with it. But she let the ball get too many opportunities to hop along the ground.
And sometimes, especially, with all dirt infields and softball, I mean, you get the chance to, it hits a rock, it hits anything in the, it hits anything there, and with the spin, it can go anywhere. Hoffner up to bat, 347, as she'll swing and a miss at the first pitch. 347 on the season, 24 RBIs.
Emma Hoffner been a huge batter in this lineup for the Bobcats.
There's quickly finds herself down 0-2, though. She doesn't strike out very much, only 9 strikeouts on the season for Hoffner. Open to put one in play here with 1 out, see if they can get a run in. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-2 the count. Hoffner in yesterday's game went 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off of the post of the netting. We'll do it again at 1-2.
Yep, she really is hanging in there. I mean, it's kind of tough whenever you go in and get 2 quick strikes against you. You got to kind of swing at everything.
And that one's going to be chopped foul. As that one, I mean, that's another one where she just had to swing at everything, kind of on the lower half of the zone. Might have been a little bit too low, but Hoffner thought it was a little bit too close, so she was able to get a bat on it and stay alive.
I think if you're Hoffner in this position, you got to protect.
Fouled off again, as that one, Hoffner fouled off herself.
Yeah, it looks like she might have hit herself with that one. I'm not exactly sure where. I can't quite tell, but just needs a second to take a break, breathe real quick, shake it off. her left leg, it looks like.
She's back in the box, ready again for the 1-2 pitch. And that one's going to be lifted into center field. Might be deep enough for the score. There's a runner in, and it's going to be close at the plate, but able to get in there safely is Yaz Logan. A sac fly for Emma Hoffner.
Once again, Yaz Logan showing off that speed, and it's not like Lauren Erickson wasn't ready. We've seen her take a couple steps back and kind of get a running catch at that one because she was ready to fire that thing home, but once again, Yaz Logan just showing off that speed. She has to be one of the quickest players here for the Bobcats.
And now it'll bring up to the plate Analia Paoli. Runner still on first as Paoli sends one deep left field. It's off the shed, home run. And this game is tied.
Wow. Wasted no time. Analia Paoli, what a smack. She was all over that one.
It was a no-doubter to left field as she just got a hold of that one, really.
Yeah, I mean, that was just her perfect pitch. And you know what? I mean, good for her. She struggled a little bit yesterday. She had a bit of a weird situation, a weird strikeout yesterday, so she probably was feeling that going into that at-bat, ready to make something happen after going 0-3.
So now it'll be Sydney Grine up to bat. You'll see a ball just a tiny bit high. Grine on the season, batting .271, 10 RBIs, scored 14 times. This is her 28th start. That pitch high again, 2-0. I mean, giving up a home run, I mean, what's that got to do to Knight's confidence out in the circle?
Giving up a home run that early, especially one as zeroed out as that one, it has to be hard, but, you know, as a pitcher, that's just something you got to get used to. You're going to face these really strong hitters, and Paoli's been a strong hitter all season long for the Bobcats. And although she struggled yesterday, I just think you got to kind of keep that in the back of your mind. That would be her, 8th home run of the season?
As that one down the left field line, Grine, it's into the corner. Grine digging for 2, and she'll be there standing up. A stand-up double for Sydney Grine. Back-to-back extra base hit for the Bobcats. And Toledo.
They're struggling a little bit out there, and I mean, a lot of these hits are just falling. Yesterday, what Ohio struggled with the most is they were getting their bat on the ball. They were getting these hits, but they were going foul. They had 3 or 4 that was foul by just inches, even a foul home run.
Wessler will foul this one off, and Wessler, the hero yesterday in the 4th inning, hitting the 2-run homer that ended up being the Bobcats' only 2 runs of the day and being the difference in the game.
Yep, and Wessler, just a freshman here for the squad, but making big moves early on.
Here's the pitch that's outside, 1-1 the count. And one thing I notice about Wessler's stance is she kind of shifts her front foot late. Her front foot's almost out of the batter's box until the pitcher starts their delivery. That pitch outside.
That's probably just a way for her to ensure that her body stays straight to the pitcher. I know some people, everyone has their different styles, but personally when I played, I would struggle with stepping in and kind of closing myself off. So it might be a way for her to stay open to the pitcher.
That one's going to be popped up and over the stands, out of play. Count remains at 2-2. 2 outs, runner on second. Ohio already tied this game back up at 3.
The runner threatening out there at second, Sid Grine.
Here's the pitch. That one's going to be in fair play, possibly tailing off, and it will just end up out of play.
Can see our pal Jack Demler out there protecting his camera with his bare hands on that one. I don't want to know what would happen if he let that hit that camera.
Oh, he should have just made the catch. Anyways, it'll be 2-2 again on Wessler.
That one really did look like it was going to be fair. I think it just kind of just kept drifting over into foul territory.
Here's the pitch. That one fouled off. Nobody able to catch it in the stands either, as that one fouled off the top of the – we've seen 2 of them off the post of the netting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that in any of the games I've ever been here for.
Yeah, Shelby's doing a good job trying to get the crowd involved here.
2-2 the count. Wessler really fighting on this one. Knight trying to get out of the inning. Here's the pitch. And that's just going to be a chopper to first. Able to grab it is Moore. Step on the bag. Ground out 3 unassisted. But Ohio able to get 3 runs back. It's tied at 3. Headed to the second here on Bobcat TV. Aaliyah Mara will lead it off for the Rockets, the 8-hole hitter for this top of the second inning. Ohio and Toledo tied at 3 in game 1 of the twin bill today. Game 2 of the series overall. Ohio winning yesterday 2-1 as Kofeld delivers, and that one's going to be lifted. It'll go foul out of play. 0-1 the count against Mara. Mara batting .216. This is her 37th start of the season. 11 RBIs. Walks more than she strikes out. 8 walks to 7 strikeouts. Transfer from Rutgers originally. Here's the pitch. That one up the hole. Diving stop. Throw to first. Not quite in time. But a great attempt by Grine as that one looked destined for center field. Grine able to dive and keep it in the infield, but not in time.
I'm getting deja vu from that one. We've seen almost the exact same thing happen. Sid Grine laying out for it, getting it just right there by second base, but not able to do anything with it. But still, amazing effort from her. It could have potentially saved another base.
So now it'll be Sydney Griffith. She's going to square to bunt. First pitch is a strike. Griffith, .232 on the season, batting average.
There's a bit of interesting bunt right there with it just going right past her. Past her bat.
Squaring again. That one's going to be laid down, just a short bunt. Throw over to first in time. That'll be the sacrifice bunt, ground out 5-3. But it will do its job. Move the runner up to second and Mara, and flip it back up to the top of the order for Leah Munson. Munson reached on an error by the pitcher in her first at bat, and then came around to score on the Erickson triple.
Yeah, she reached on an error, but really, it was a hard hit, and it was one that was chopped in the ground right back to Kofeld on the very first pitch of the game. So, although it was considered an error, it was a hard hit from her for sure.
First pitch will be a strike.
Munson just now moving up into the leadoff position the last 5 games.
That pitch outside, 1-1 the count.
a new development for her. She has 2 sisters that also played college softball, one at Oakland and one at Central Michigan. Softball family for Leah Munson.
That pitch just outside. 2-1 the count. One out, runner on second in Aaliyah Mara for the Rockets. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. And the count even at 2-2. That was really good placement by Kofeld.
Yeah, we've talked all game long. Her trying to find that outside corner, and that was exactly what you want right there. Low and away. One of the hardest pitches to hit.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. That one corked, foul, out of play down the left field line. We'll do it again at 2-2. Munson steps back in. And here's Kofeld's pitch. That one off the end of the bat, and it's caught in center field. They're going to be able to double off Mara. A great grab by Logan in center field, and Mara caught about halfway between second and third, unable to get back to the bag. It'll be a double play. 8-4, and that will be the end of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second here on Bobcat TV. CC Keitel leading it off for the bottom of the second for the Bobcats. Keitel, the sophomore, playing right field today, is batting .192 on the season, has 21 runs scored, though, and 15 RBIs. Gets on base a decent amount, an on-base percentage of nearly 300. Here's the pitch. It's a ball outside, 1-0 the count.
Keitel, the one in right field earlier that made the diving attempt. Unfortunately for her, it was a little too far out of reach, but laying out.
That one right into the glove of Vanderlucht at third base. My goodness, that was on a line, but good job with the glove by Vanderlucht, and it's one out for Tori O'Brien. And O'Brien's really brought a little bit of thump to the bottom of this lineup. His .321 batting average from your 9-hole hitter is something you always want.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, where you're at in the lineup can really take a toll on you, like mentally, especially whenever you're at bat. And I think you need someone who's mentally strong to be in the 9-hole. And I think Tori O'Brien does exactly that. She does her job. She gets them back to the top. She does great in this position. As
that's going to be chopped foul. It's diving attempt by Sydney Griffith coming all the way from short to try to get that one just out of a reach. It'll end up falling harmlessly to the ground, and the count now 1-1 against O'Brien.
Almost seen a collision over there between third and shortstop. But you can see corners are pulled in right here.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. That almost looked like O'Brien was trying to slap hit.
Well, look at this defense they have put on right here. They have right field pulled in, second baseman and shortstop, 3 of them over here on the left side of the plate. left side of the field. You don't see this too often, especially in softball.
And it's going to be over to third. Throw over to first in time. It's a ground out, 5-3. So now it'll go back up to the top of the order. Belle Hummel. Hummel struck out her first time up.
Yep.
I'll be interested to see if they do that again against O'Brien.
Yeah, that's not something I'm not sure if I've even really ever seen anything like that. They didn't do that yesterday, that's for sure.
That pitch going to be low. Ball 1. The only thing I can compare it to is I remember the Padres having something in Major League Baseball, but that was the opposite way where they had 4 outfielders and 3 infielders. This pitch is going to go straight to short, but it's going to bounce off Griffith, and reaching safely on the E6 will be Belle Hummel.
Yep, that was a hard ball on the ground. Straight out there to Griffith, but fortunately for her, that's 2 errors already here for Toledo, which is interesting because yesterday there was no errors at all. So the fact that there's 3 throughout this game, maybe we had an announcer's curse when we talked about it pregame.
Now Logan doubled her first time up on really just a little blooper about 15, 20 feet behind the bag at first base. It landed fair, and Logan able to use her speed to just make it to second. Not very many people could leg that out into a double. Here's the pitch.
Yeah, and she was the one that ended last inning with the double play out there in center field, and that's also not a play that many outfielders are even going to be able to make. And obviously on the base path, Aaliyah Morrow didn't think she was going to get that one either, and she was able to get that double play.
2-0 the count, and the pitch is going to be high, 3-0 against Knight. And for Knight, it's got to kind of be frustrating because you started finding a rhythm. You almost get out of the inning, a 1-2-3, and then an error. Suddenly, you're stuck back at the plate, 2 outs still, but now a runner on as here's the pitch. There's a strike. Count goes to 3-1.
And Logan, she got a hit yesterday. She's already had a hit today. That puts her at an 8-game hitting streak here so far, which is a major improvement, especially between each year.
That pitch is going to be high, and Logan reaches on a walk. So now 2 on for Alexis Daw. Daw reached first time up on an error by the second baseman. Came around to score eventually on the Paoli home run.
Yep, Dahl had that hard hit right on the ground.
Here's the pitch. There's a strike.
That was a nice delivery right there.
That one's going to be just a little bit high at 1-1 the count. Pretty decent lead out there for Hummel. It's about a good 3-4 steps off the bag as really nobody's within. Shortstop's only about 15 feet off the line. Big gap in the center as that's going to be a ball high as Reed is going to try to throw Hummel back a little bit, kind of bluffing a little bit. But the problem is with that is there's nobody in the center. There's nobody in the center of the infield as we're going to have a mound visit here tonight.
Aubrey Reed was just trying to keep her on her toes out there because yesterday we saw it a lot from Reed that she's not afraid to try to throw you out. She was popping it down to first and second several times. But I think you're right. I think Moore needs to get over there to second a little bit quicker because like you mentioned with that Belle Hummel lead, it could be potential to get that last out that you're really looking for here and get out of this inning.
Mound visit over for the Rockets. This Knight trying to regain a little bit of composure. 2-1 count, 2 outs. No runs in this inning yet, but runners on first and second after the first 2 outs were honestly pretty quickly. Only took a few pitches for those. Now that pitch is high and inside, and the count goes to 3-1. You don't want to walk the bases loaded here, especially with Emma Hoffner on deck.
Emma Hoffner on Aaliyah Paoli coming up. Yeah, you're in a pretty dangerous spot right here in the Bobcats lineup, but honestly.
That one is to second, trying to run back to first. It is going to be out there. It's very, very close. The ground out for 3. Good job by Mara sliding over to grab that ball, and then Moore caught off the bag but able to get back there just in time to get the out. No runs scored in the second inning. We head to the third, still tied at 3. Anna Dixon will lead it off for the Rockets here in the third inning at a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. Batting .336 on the season, 15 RBIs, 27 runs scored, and if she can keep her numbers up for the really just the last few games of the season for Toledo, they've just got this series and one more series after this against Western Michigan.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Toledo, I think they're pretty much out of the MAC tournament. Not much they can really do at this point. They're 7th in the MAC. Meanwhile, Ohio is tied for 1st. A lot of important games going on this weekend and next weekend.
Dixon with a .330 batting average the last 2 seasons is looking in good shape to keep that here, as that's going to be a chopper over to O'Brien. O'Brien over to Daw. That'll be ground out for 3, 1 out for Jenna Kroll now. Kroll also batting above .335, .336 to be exact. Also walks a lot, 18 walks. Her on-base percentage up .457 as that pitch going to be in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Also has some power, 8 home runs on the season, has a slugging percentage up .593. That's an OPS of above 1.
Yeah, she leads the team in home runs with 8 of them, 24 RBIs, 18 walks, first on that team.
And that's going to be a flare down into right field. That'll be a base hit for Kroll. And with Kroll being on base, might have to be a little bit of a worry with her running. 2 stolen bases on the year, but looking at a little bit of her family history, her dad, Kevin, ran track at Western Michigan, and her sister, Brandy, runs track at a D3 school. So
got running in her blood, it sounds like.
Perhaps we'll have to see if she does run here as Riley Moore comes to the plate. Moore walked her first time up. Here's the pitch. There's a ball just a little bit low. 1-0 the count. Grind deep in the hole in between second and third as the pitch comes, and that's going to be throw as Grind not quite able to get that. She was in the hole to try to get it, but not quite able to reach that in time, and it's going to be a single for Moore. Back-to-back singles for the Rockets, and now with runners on first and second, 1 out, here comes Aubrey Reed.
That one just right there in that 5-6 hole, and it's not for a lack of effort. That was just a hard hit and beautifully placed ball. over there. Wessler and Grind both laid out for it.
We're going to have a courtesy runner, or a pinch runner, I believe, actually. The runner going to come on, I believe. That's
Erica Reed.
Erica Reed, yes.
Aubrey Reed's sister.
Both from Birchwood, Tennessee, the sisters. That's going to be just a tiny bit inside there. 1-0 the count.
Erica Reed was able to get in and run yesterday as well. So nice to see her be able to get out there on the field after we were talking about her sister being a track star. Not her sister, but her teammate sister.
That goes away. Throw over to third, not in time, as that'll be able to advance as the ball dropped there. See what that officially is called.
Put her in, and immediately she is making her way over there to third. Now Aubrey has a chance to score her sister right there at third base. Always nice to see whenever siblings are able to kind of help each other out.
We have another runner in. Those are going to be stolen bases there.
Madison Mikulski subbing in to run for Riley Moore.
Mikulski, a junior from Canton, Michigan. Has 5 stolen bases on the year, even though not really an opportunity to steal a base here.
Nope, but with Aubrey Reed's big bat, opportunity to score and help her team out. Excuse me, Emma Hoffner's big bat.
There's a pitch out and just past the outreached arms of Hummel. 1 run's going to score, 2 runs. Oh, maybe not. Throw to the plate in time. That's an out. I'm not sure what took her so long, as immediately Toledo's coach is asking.
I think that was a beautiful bang, a nice relay there from the outfield. I think she definitely was out. I think maybe she slid a little bit too late. Gave Hoffner the chance to tag her.
It's going to be a double with 1 RBI for Aubrey Reed, and then advancing to third on the throw home. But you want to get 2 runs there, and unfortunately only able to get 1. First pitch is going to be a swing and a miss to Lauren Erickson. Erickson with a 3 RBI triple in the first inning. 4-3 now, Toledo leads. Here's the pitch. That's chopped, caught from her knees, and the throw is high by Wessler. Run will score, and up to second will go Erickson. That's going to be E5.
Yeah, I mean, a beautiful stop. She demonstrated she definitely has that power from her knees, just a little bit too high. Tragic error right there for the Bobcats.
It will make it 5-3, and I think that's one of them where you think you can make that play, and you give it a chance too, and it does not happen.
Ohio, you can see them taking a little break out there. I think they really do need time to just kind of sit back, relax, take a deep breath. They got 2 outs, got to get their way out of it. And I think a common theme we've seen throughout this game is they're getting the first 2 outs really quickly, and then they're doing all this damage with 2 outs, and that's on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely, and I think probably the biggest problem for the Bobcats, this has been a great season. If there's been one flaw with this team, it's been the errors. They're last in the MAC in fielding percentage and with the most amount of errors in the MAC, and that's definitely not what you want to see.
Yeah, they've really had to use their bats to make up for those fielding errors.
First pitch is going to be a strike against Vanderluk. Vanderluk, first time up, ended the first inning with a ground out 4-3. Runner on second, 2 outs. Toledo already scoring 2 in this inning. Here's the pitch. Just low, 1-1 the count now.
Two errors already on for both teams. 2 outs here.
That is straight at Tori O'Brien. She's able to make the catch. Line out to second baseman, but the Rockets put 2 on the board. We head to the bottom of the third. Toledo leads 5-3. You're watching Ohio Bobcat TV. Emma Hoffner to lead off for the Bobcats as they've got some ground to make up a little bit here in this third inning, now trailing 5-3. Hoffner, her first time up at the sac fly to center field, did get a run in.
Hoffner, one of the big bats here for the Bobcats.
First pitch outside, 1-0 the count.
Last inning, she was the one at catcher that was able to get that big tag out at home. Huge out for the Bobcats despite them letting a couple more score on error.
That one popped foul, out of play. It'll be a 1-1 count now against Hoffner. The new Stanton, Pennsylvania sophomore. Waggles her back. There's a pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a really good movement on that pitch there by Knight.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You seen that one just curve over onto that outside, and it was just off the end of Hoffner's bat right there. Beautiful movement.
The 1-2 pitch. That one fouled off again. 1-2 will be again the count.
Although when talking to Bracamonte, and she said that Sophia Knight tends to use more of her power and her speed, from my observation, I can see she has a good bit of movement on her pitches too.
That pitch is going to be high, 2-2, and that might be a little bit more from necessity today, as she threw a lot of hard pitches, and well, one of those hard pitches ended up out into the shed.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio scoring 3 early. Yeah, maybe you have to change it up a little bit.
That one off the end of the bat, again, foul. And it's not like there's still a little bit of speed there. I mean, there is still speed on that movement. I mean, look at the fact that that was a late swing there by Hoffner. That's why it ended up going down the right field line.
Yeah, and I mean, despite the fact that Ohio won yesterday, they weren't exactly hitting well against Aaron Hunt, who does have all that movement. So maybe Knight is just out here switching up her style a little bit to catch us off guard.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. That's high, and the count runs full. Really good job by Hoffner here to fight in this, get the count all the way to full count here.
Especially coming out with those quick strikes and foul balls.
Here's the payoff pitch. High. It's a walk for Emma Hoffner, leadoff walk. It's actually the first time in any of the innings that the Bobcats have gotten a leadoff runner, as Analia Paoli up to bat now. Had that 2-run homer in the first inning.
Emma Hoffner's 16th walk on the season, about middle in the pack of the team.
That pitch, a strike. Paoli thought about swinging at it and held off of it, and just a little bit of late movement there put that in the zone.
Yeah, especially when you saw how well Paoli jumped on that home run and how fast. Starting off with a changeup here from Knight, it's expected.
That one straight at the center fielder. Erickson gets it. It's an F8. Hoffner not able to move up on it, and that's one out in the inning for Sydney Grind.
That was beautiful ball, beautiful contact, beautiful hard hit ball, but unfortunately for Paoli, it was just straight out there to center. If that would have been to the left or right 10 feet, it could have been a little bit different for her, but.
First pitch going to be a strike to Grind. Grind with a double her first time up in the first inning.
Yep, Grind with beautiful hit. Seeing these pitches really well. Yeah, you could that one, although it was high in the zone, you could see a little bit of speed on that one. That one just seemed a lot faster than the last couple of pitches.
That it did as a 1-1 count now against Grind. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. And it's a 1-2 count. And definitely that speed going back up again for Knight.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here with Knight is her ability to switch up based on the batter.
Strike 3. Right on the inside part of the plate. Strike 3 looking. And I mean, that's just one you don't want to swing at. Even, I mean, you have to with 2 strikes, but that's just one you don't ever want to. It's right on the inside of the plate, right at you. The high heat almost.
Ooh, that was a beautiful pitch from Knight.
That one, Wessler, too short. It'll be ground out 6-4, and then the fielder's choice, and that will end the inning. Toledo leads 5-3 after 3. You're listening to Max Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Aaliyah Mara up to bat first for the Rockets.
Mara got on earlier on a single, but was caught sleeping out there on the base when Yaz Logan got her out on a double play with the fly out to center field.
Here's the pitch. That's foul down the right field or down the first base line. 0-1 the count.
Taking a look at some stats here throughout this game, Toledo's hitting .500. Meanwhile, Ohio's only hitting .231 with 3 hits and Toledo's 6. Not something you see too often from this team.
Here's the pitch. That one lifted. That might be trouble. And tracking over and making the grab is Yaz Logan. That one was in the gap near the deepest part of near the 210 out in the left center, but able to run over there and make the grab is Logan, F8. That's 1 out for Sydney Griffith. Griffith with a bunt, her first time up. Ground out 5-3 officially.
Yaz Logan covering a lot of ground to pick that one up, and that's one thing that Jenna Hall said post game yesterday is she was really proud of her outfield. They really took the time, and all 3 of them, Cece, Yaz, and Bella Hummel, they all 3 have been covering a lot of ground to protect those fly balls out there, especially yesterday. Bell Hummel picking up 3 in foul territory.
That one going to be fouled off. 1-1 the count against Griffith.
But she couldn't have enough good things to say about her outfield yesterday, and I think Yaz Logan just demonstrated that. Especially you thought that one might have been down, but never doubt them.
Wind picking up a little bit here, blowing from left to right across your screen as that pitch just a little bit low. That was a beautiful drop ball there.
That looked like a changeup that also had a little bit of that spin that caused it to drop. Heard the crowd get a little bit testy over that one, but.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one chopped over to third. Throwing it over Wessler to Dahl. That's a ground out, 5-3. And that'll flip it back up to the top of the order. Leah Munson. Munson 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on an error and eventually scored in the first inning, and then was part of a double play as a great catch out there by Logan. Flew out to center field as Logan able to run in, track that ball, and make the catch, and then caught Mara off the bag at second. Here's the pitch. Just outside, 1-0 the count.
She's probably itching to get herself a hit here today after both of those, what you just explained, both of those situations earlier in the game. And I mean, that last play we saw a hard hit down there to Shelby Wessler. She took her time to make sure that she was not going to overthrow first again.
That one a swinging strike, 1-1 the count. That's also a really good point there. She did that earlier. That ended up plating a run.
Yep, you could see her kind of get the double pump and make sure the throw was there that time.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a strike, and that was a beautiful pitch there, and right in that spot that's tough to hit, the outside corner.
Yeah, I think the first inning we really saw Kofelt struggle a little bit to find her zone, but I think she's really settled in here within herself. And if you look at Ohio's bullpen, we do have 2 pitchers warming up.
That pitch outside, 2-2 the count now. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 4th.
But we have 2 pitchers warming up, and that's not to say that Kofelt's doing anything wrong, but it's just in case measured for Ohio. Meanwhile, Toledo has nobody in their bullpen.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Munson having a nice quality at bat here. Seeing a lot of pitches, fouling a lot of them off. Right now, I think she's in protect mode, kind of waiting for that perfect pitch that she wants.
She is taking Allison to our MRI at 2.
Here's the pitch. There's a strike 3 looking. Beautiful pitch. That is the first strikeout of the day for Kofelt. As we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Toledo still leads Ohio 5-3. CC Keidel up to bat to lead off for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the 4th. Keidel, last time up, lined it straight to the third baseman Vanderlug's glove. Almost looked like a magnet on that one.
Keidel, although she got out earlier in the game, speaking with her early in the season, When asking her the biggest difference as a player from high school to college, she said it was her mental game. And when asked in what ways has it changed, she said her family has helped her, Coach Jenna Hall has helped her.
At high, is that going to make it out of the infield? It will. 3 players over there, and it will be caught by Mara. Pop out to the second baseman. And that's 1 out. Now Tori O'Brien up to bat. O'Brien, let's see if they do it again, and they are. So what they're doing is they're bringing the center fielder, Erickson, in at second base. They're moving the second baseman, Mara, over about 4 or 5 steps out of second base. Is that's going to be fine? No, it's not. It's going to be dropped by the center fielder, Erickson, and it's going to be a rare E8 on a ball that doesn't leave the infield.
All I can say is, wow. That's not something you see often. So, it's interesting. It's interesting. It makes the game fun.
Infield E8. That's going to be a new one in the scorebook for a while. 1 runner on, 1 out, as here's the pitch, and that's going to be Chopper up the middle, and this could be 2, but bobbled, unable to keep it, is Mara. It's a safe as it eventually rolled through her legs.
Hold on. Okay.
Wow. 2 back-to-back errors right there for Toledo. 4 on the day now.
Ooh. So that'll be E4. That's the second time that Belle Hummel has reached on an error today. She reached on one of an earlier errors on the shortstop. So back-to-back errors for Toledo.
Hey, I mean, although those don't count for her batting average, still being able to get on base is still something you want to do. And forcing these teams to make these errors 2 in a row as Aubrey Reed pulls in her infield. Tells everyone probably saying, calm down, let's play our game, let's get this out at third.
Now Logan up to bat. Yaz Logan with reaching twice already today. A double in the first inning, then walked in the second. Is Ohio threatening here. Here's the pitch. High, 1-0 the count. 1 out, runners on first and second on back-to-back errors.
Yep, Logan having a great day here so far.
Toledo's the middle of the pack. They're 7th on errors, 8th in fielding percentages. That pitch is high again, but 4 errors on the day.
It's just so interesting to see 4 for Toledo, 2 for Ohio, considering there was no errors yesterday. So I think it's very interesting to see.
Maybe the early start time has something to do with it. Who knows? Here's the pitch. Logan, that's popped out in right field and able to be caught out there. No chance at tagging for either runner. Good job by Dixon to make the catch and get it back in the infield quick enough. 2 outs for Alexis Daw. Daw 0 for 2 on the day. Did reach on an error by the second baseman in the first inning, then grounded out to the second baseman in the second.
Kind of stole the words right out of my mouth, Carl. I was going to say kudos to Anna Dixon getting that one back in the infield quickly and holding up those runners.
First pitch going to be a strike to Daw.
Alexis Dahl, a great player for the Bobcats.
That pitch going to be a ball high. 2-0 the count, or excuse me, 1-1 the count against Daw. And really, for Ohio, you got to make sure to capitalize on these errors by Toledo. They've been able to capitalize on Ohio's errors as that's down the line. Foul.
I think we're starting to see kind of the same thing we saw yesterday. Yesterday, Ohio left 8 runners out on base, and honestly, you're not going to win very many games if you do that. So I think if they leave these 2 runners out here, it might be crucial when we get towards the 5th and 6th and 7th inning.
Here's the pitch. Outside, just barely, and the count goes to 2-2. Really good pitch there by Knight. One of those ones that you're ahead in the count 1-2. Why not try and kind of squeeze that one a little bit to the outside and see if you can get a swing. That one fouled again. That one's going to go into the netting. We'll do it again at 2-2, and it's that speed again, and it just appears that Daw's just behind on Knight's pitches with that speed.
Yeah, and with Dahl being a left-hander, if would be able to come around on it and lace it out there to right field, that would be extremely beneficial for the Bobcats.
Here's the pitch. That one she's able to, but it's fouled again. That one just a little bit too early.
Wow. Just wow. That would have been exactly what I was talking about. That would have been perfect, but I mean, she's all over these pitches. She's found them left, found them right. She just needs to find her pitch and keep it in between the lines.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just outside. That was a really good pitch. Great job by Dahl to lay off of that one as the count goes full.
That one was very, very, very close. And whew, kudos to Knight for hanging in there.
Here's the pitch. That one is too short. Throw over to first in time. It's a ground out, 6-3. And the Bobcats will threaten after 2 errors, but cannot score. We head to the 5th. Toledo leads 5-3. Anna Dixon up to bat first for the Rockets this inning, and the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. And those 2, 3, and 4 hitters have definitely gotten a lot of damage. 4 runs scored out of, mostly actually the 3 and 4 and 5 hitters, but a lot of damage done by really the middle of this Toledo lineup. So here's the pitch. That is through. That's a base hit in the gap. It will be a single for Anna Dixon.
Nice little first pitch single for Dixon. Sometimes that's all it takes. You don't need those big hits. You just need to put together some singles.
So now it'll be Jenna Kroll up to bat. Got a single, a stolen base the last time up, then eventually scored on an Aubrey Reed single. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 1.
Jenna Kroll has started in every game for the Rockets. Junior on the team, and she does very well. First in walks, first in RBIs, first in home runs, second in batting average.
Here's the pitch. It's high. 2-0 the count. I mean, not only has Kroll started every single game this year, but she started in 40-plus games each of her seasons. Even as a freshman, started 48 games and 44 games last season as a sophomore. Here's the pitch. That's just fouled off. That really sounded weird off the bat. It caught really a very inside part of the bat, but still able to catch a piece of it. It's a 2-1 count now. Here's the pitch. That one out. Coming in will be Belle Hummel, and she'll get that in left field. It'll be a flyout F7 for the first out of the inning, and now comes up Riley Moore.
Yeah, it looked like she had to maybe call Sid Grind off of that one. She was right there, but I think that's where communication comes into play. Big time, especially for those kind of short pop-ups right there.
So Moore's reached both times up, and she squares to bunt here, possibly pulls it back, and the pitch will be low. A little bit of interference there as it's in the box. A little bit of talking with Hoffner as able to move up to second was Dixon. It'll be a stolen base. Hoffner is sitting there talking with home plate umpire Brian Howard, feeling that Moore got in her way there and affected her chance to make a play.
The way I see it is I don't think anything could come from that because Moore is entitled to that box, and she didn't step out of the way. She didn't do it. I don't think she did it on purpose. That's just one of those parts of the game that you got to deal with.
Pitch will be fouled off, and it's a 1-1 count now. 1 out, runner on second now. Moore's reached both times, walked in the first inning, and then single in the third. Here's the pitch. Inside, and throw down to third. It's passed. Good backup there by Grind, but looked like they might have had a chance at her if the throw was on target, but it was not.
Yeah, that seemed a little bit uncharacteristic of Hoffner. She's usually very aggressive, and I mean, she has 173 putouts on the season, so it's very interesting to see. And she has a .966 fielding percentage.
And there's going to be a single as out into right field goes Riley Moore. And add another run for Toledo. It's now 6-3, an RBI for Riley Moore. That'll bring up Aubrey Reed now. Reed also, she's 1 for 1 on the day. Walked her first time up and scored. Then had an RBI double as
Coach Hall comes out here. She's looking at her notes.
Yeah.
Look like there's going to be a substitute, possibly.
Yeah, I think we might be having a new pitcher, perhaps. Maybe.
They're switching up. Everyone's switching up their wristbands out there.
Yeah.
Maybe they suspect Toledo's picking up on their pitches.
Maybe. I think we might see the end of the road for.
I think so. I see
Coffelt
Skip
as
Miller
well,
jogging back, Keegan Moore jogging back.
See which one will come in. As it looks like Cofelt's sitting there, just kind of waiting for somebody to pass the ball off to. And she will be passing it off. She'll be passing it off to Keegan Moore, it looks like. So it'll be Keegan Moore, the freshman from South Point, Ohio, coming in after the break as we have a pitching change here at Ohio softball field. Keegan Moore in now for the Bobcats. Moore, the freshman from South Point, Ohio, 3.34 ERA, 1.67 WHIP, 29 1/3 innings pitched, 287 batting average against 14 strikeouts, 12 walks on the season. A shell pitch and inside. That hit her. Just caught her. That just caught her, so Aubrey Reed now on. 2 runners on, still only 1 out.
Last time Keegan Moore came into pitch was on April 15th in the first game against NIU, where she pitched 3.2 innings. She didn't allow any runs, but she had 2 walks.
Erickson fouls that off into the Ohio dugout. Lauren Erickson on the day reached both times, had a 3 RBI triple in the first inning, then reached on an error by the third baseman in the third.
Moore's only a freshman. She went to Ironton High School. They're known for their athletics down there in Southeast Ohio.
That pitch, a strike. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, Miami, I'll just grab myself.
Nice way for Moore to jump out on it quickly here.
Here's the pitch. That one lifted foul. That's going to go over almost to the baseball field. Not quite making it over there. We'll do it again at 0-2.
Coach said some of Keegan Moore's best aspects is that she's a screwball and a rise ball pitcher. She focuses on the different side of the plate as well as the height of her pitches. Sounds like we're going to get to see a little bit more movement on her balls.
And that one's going to be fouled off. And it looks like it's kind of getting Erickson a little bit as she's a little bit frustrated after that last pitch. I feel like she's seeing the ball well, and then it just makes that little bit of late movement at the end.
Yeah, I mean, there's no balls on her yet. A lot of fouls. She was in front of that one, but it was the off speed.
Here's the 0-2 pitch again. That one fouled off again.
At this point, Lauren Erickson is just fighting. She's battling. She's staying alive. She's fending off these slow pitches for Moore. See if she can keep on it.
Here's once again the 0-2 delivery from Moore. Fouled off again, chopped into the Ohio dugout.
We saw one of those yesterday. The ball that went straight into the dugout. Had to be a little bit safer. There's still no balls here against Lauren Erickson.
Yeah, Moore really pumping the strike zone full, and Erickson just able to get a bat on it.
Erickson 4 RBIs already on the day.
There's strike 3 looking. That's 2 outs now in the inning for Kendra Vanderluck up to bat. Vanderluck 0 for 2 on the day, ground out to second base, and then lined out to second base. So Tori O'Brien at second base should have to be on her toes here.
Yeah, keep herself a little bit ready.
Here's the pitch. That's a ball high. First ball of the day for Moore, and it just looked like it was a pitch that never really curved down. Kind of curved a little bit to the side, but never down.
Yeah, I was going to say, interesting, like you mentioned, first ball of the day after throwing like 6 or 7 foul ball strikes.
That one fouled off into the screen. I actually remiss on that. That's their second ball of the day. She had the hit by pitch, the first batter that she did see. So that was a second ball of the day, but nonetheless, now 1-1 the count against Vanderluck.
Now, Moore, she has 12 walks on the season compared to 14 strikeouts. It's not amazing stats, but
There's a strike, 1-2, and
just needs a chance.
She's really found herself. I saw her pitch against Ball State earlier in the season, and she's finding herself as she's going along during these games, and each game's a learning experience, and she's doing really well so far. It's definitely going to develop into somebody as that pitch low. Going to be 2-2, and I mean, this is a freshman.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. She's only a freshman. I think for Ohio, they have a lot of young pitchers here. I mean, obviously Kylie Kofeld's a grad student, but Skip Miller's only a sophomore. Ellie Green's a sophomore, and now Keegan Moore's a freshman. They have a lot of potential for the next couple of seasons.
That pitch high again, 3-2 the count. And that's the second time in this at-bat that high pitch has just kind of stayed up there, and kind of wonder what Moore's trying to do with it as the count runs full here.
I think she's trying to get that rise ball going, maybe missing her spot just a little bit.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one fouled off into the Ohio dugout again. We'll do it again at full count.
If you look over at the dugout, you're seeing a lot less girls stand up there. They're probably going to try to hide a little bit. I would be. That's 2 already that's been slinged over there in the last couple pitches.
That wasn't a sales.
I guess you got to be fearless with dugouts like these that are open.
Here's the pitch, and that one up the middle, base hit. Logan gonna throw to the cutoff man. They got the runner and a rundown between second and third, and they will tag. That is Reed. Reed is tagged out, but not before an RBI single by Vanderbuck. The runner, Moore, will score, but that will end the inning. It'll be 7-3. Toledo leads as we've reached the 5th inning stretch. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th after this here on Ohio Bobcat TV. It'll be Emma Hoffner to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Bobcats.
I do, yeah.
Hoffner with a sac fly RBI earlier and then a walk back in the 3rd inning.
First pitch going to be popped high up on the infield. The pitcher will grab it. That is Knight with a pop out 1, and that'll bring up Analia Paoli. Paoli 1 for 2 on the day, had a 2-run homer in the 1st inning, but flew out to center last time up.
Yep. Paoli, the designated player of the game for the Bobcats.
First pitch just a little bit low, 1-0 the count.
That was a quick first out. Emma Hoffner swinging at the first pitch.
That one inside. 2-0 the count now against Paoli.
Paoli's had a very successful game, very successful season. She's had 10 doubles on the team.
That one, a ball just a little bit inside again.
She leads the team with the doubles, 7 home runs, 35 RBIs, which is 4th in the MAC. Well, now she probably has more like 37 RBIs. This was pregame.
There's a strike for Knight. I think the one interesting thing with Toledo is they really have to have their pitchers go the entirety of the game, as that one's going to be fouled, or no, it's going to be fair. Chopped to Vanderluck. It'll be a ground out 5-3, and Sydney Grine up now. But Toledo, I mean, they only have 3 pitchers on their roster, and especially on doubleheader days like this, they do have the 3rd pitcher is a freshman, Madison McKay. She's been used sparingly, only 13 innings pitched on the season. As that pitch way high. But what that means is that Sophia Knight and Aaron Hunt, especially on doubleheader days, you're going to get complete games each time. It's almost a guarantee.
Yeah, and I think that's one of Toledo's downfalls. But Madison McKay, the other pitcher, last time she pitched was March 29th. So
that pitch inside again.
She's had almost a month of a break. So it'll be interesting to see if Toledo keeps her in. But, I mean, hey, Sophia Knight's doing a successful job right now fending off these Bobcats late in the game. They haven't scored since the 1st inning.
That pitch high again, 3-0, and a little bit of control trouble suddenly for Knight.
But yeah, Ohio hasn't scored since that Analia Paley home run in the first inning.
Here's the pitch. High again. It's a 4-pitch walk.
Since that Paoli home run, they have left 5 base runners on base. That's something that Ohio struggled with yesterday. Yesterday, they left 8 out there on the bases. So I think they need to find a way to get all of their hitters hitting, and that's one thing that Coach Hall said earlier in the season. When they have a good game, it means their whole lineup is hitting top to bottom. We're working our way down to the bottom, so.
Wessler, first pitch is high, a ball. Shelby Wessler up to bat, and looking at it, Ohio doesn't have a hit since the first inning. They've quite a few errors, mind you, but you had the home run by Paoli, and Grine hit a double right after that, and after that, no hits for Ohio, as that's going to be a chopper right to third base. Over to first, Vanderlucht over to Moore, and it's a ground out 5-3, and we head to the 6th. Toledo leads 7-3 here on Bobcat TV. Seven to 3, Toledo leads Ohio as we enter the 6th inning here. Looking around the MAC, Miami and Ball State tied at 3 in the 5th inning. Central Michigan up on Bowling Green 3-1 in the 6th. Buffalo leading Kent State 3-2 in the 7th. And just starting in the 2nd, scoreless Western Michigan and Northern Illinois.
Now Ohio is sitting at the top of the MAC, but they're tied with Central Michigan and Miami. So a lot of things are out of their control today.
First pitch is going to be a ball outside. Yeah, they're definitely going to keep an eye on that score for Muncie, though. With Ball State, hoping Ball State can pull out a victory. Ball State needs a victory themselves as they're in that fight for the 4th spot and that final spot in the MAC tournament. That's going to be a slow roller to Grind, and it's not going to be in time. Legging that out, it's going to be Aaliyah Mara.
I think she caught that one off the very end of her bat, and that's not something you want to really do, but being able to leg it out, that takes some talent. I'm not sure if they're going to count that as an error. I think that was just a slow rolling.
A slow roller. It's going to be a single. You got that as a single, so infield single for Mara. And we're going to have a pinch runner here. As coming into pinch run will be Lexi Ekman, the junior from North Canton, Ohio. Massillon Jackson High School.
Massillon Jackson. A lot of players from Massillon.
We're also going to have a pinch hitter as well. As up to the plate is going to be Macy Moore, the redshirt sophomore from Asheville, Ohio. Just up the road, up 33 in Taze Valley. Only about an hour away from here, between here and Columbus. That one is lifted, slicing away, and it's going to be down, hitting up against the wall. Runners will stop at 2nd and 3rd, but it is a double for the Asheville, Ohio native, Macy Moore.
Wow, come in. You don't even have to see a single pitch, and you just hit a double off the wall. That truly amazing. And Moore, she's seen a lot of games this season, the last one, the first 2 against NIU, but hey, you got to make a best out of every chance that you got.
Gonna have another pinch runner as Leah Munson back up to the plate as pinch running. Sydney Griffith will re-enter to run for Macy Moore. As Munson on the day, 0 for 3. Reached on an error, that's going to be chopped, and it's going to be off of Moore. And I think that's going to be another E1.
Yeah. Munson, like you said, despite 2 errors, she's putting the ball in play. She's doing her job, doing what she needs to do, and she's getting an RBI on that one.
I don't think officially she gets an RBI with the error, but either way, the run does come into plate due to her bat. It'll be 8-3, and that is, how many errors is that now for Ohio? That's a lot. I believe that's their third inning, or third error, as that one's going to be fouled off.
Yep, third for Ohio, and it's all coming at crucial times. All of their errors are causing runs to get in, and Toledo having 3 errors, but it didn't cause any runs, if you remember.
Yeah, they've been able to avoid them, and Ohio has not been able to, as that one's going to be high. And able to steal a base there is Munson. Dixon at the plate.
Still got the
1 for 3.
Middle infielders pulled in here for
Looks like everyone's in
Anna Dixon.
on the infield. Here's the pitch. And that's corked out to center field. Logan able to get it, going to step into it. Throw is going to be cut off. So a sac fly for Anna Dixon.
It's just their first out. Yes, Logan wanted to get that out at home, but there wasn't really much you could do with Sydney Griffith out there on third.
But that was a good job to throw it to the cutoff person, though. Because you throw it to the cutoff, it kept the runner at second instead of having them advance to third. So that's Munson still sitting at second for Jenna Kroll. Kroll going to see it hit her. It just barely got her. But it got her. A hit by a pitch. It's a second by Moore. And quickly, this is becoming a trouble inning for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Ohio hasn't done amazing since that first inning, not being able to put together any runs. This coach is going to come out and have a quick timeout.
9-3. Toledo leading Ohio, and I mean they're 1 out, runners on first and second, and definitely not what Ohio wants at the moment.
Nope, not what they want at all, especially since they're competing for that top spot in the MAC.
And Miami's just taken the lead on a Carly Spade double with an RBI, so they now lead 4-3 up in Muncie. So you don't want to lose ground on your top competitors. Everyone playing double headers today.
Up to bat now, Riley Moore. Had a pretty successful day so far. She walked in the first inning, had a single in the third and a single in the fifth with an RBI.
She's reached every single time. Trying to reach again here and maybe get another RBI. She's going to square the bunt and lays a bunt. Perfect. As Wessler's going to get it, it's going to do its job. The ground out 5-3, but moves the runners up. Runners now second and third. 2 outs for Aubrey Reed. Reed also reached all 3 times. A walk in the first inning. An RBI double in the third, and then a hit by pitch last inning.
Yep, Toledo's getting a good part of their lineup.
That foul, ooh. Reed fouled that off herself. She's going to take some time to walk a little bit as umpire going to brush off the plate. Make sure that Reed's okay.
was going to say, he can't even hardly see the plate at this point, and he's – oh, wait, I was looking at the wrong spot. My bad. I was like, what?
Where's the plate? No, the plate's right there.
Oh.
You're looking in the batter's box, it appears.
Yeah, Hoffner was blocking my view down there.
So 1 count, 2 outs, runners second and third. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-1 the count.
That was a nice spot, nice framework there from Emma Hoffner. Unfortunately for the Bobcats, it wasn't enough to get that strike, but it's beautiful work.
Reed ready, there's the pitch. High, and it's 2-1 the count now.
Yep, 2-1 as it's 9-3. Things are really getting away from Ohio. There's already been 2 runs scored this inning.
That's going to be fouled off down the line.
Making it 2-2.
So despite the 9 runs scored by Toledo today, only 4 of them have been earned, and that's definitely a storyline here.
It all comes down to the errors, and especially the moments of the errors, like Ohio, crucial moments, letting the runs go.
Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right to Wessler at third. Throw over to first. In time, it's a ground out 5-3. But Toledo plates 2 more runs. They now lead 9-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here as you're watching Ohio Bobcat TV. CC Cadell leading it off for the Bobcats here. Cadell on the day 0-for-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Lined out to third base and popped out to second earlier. Looking to get something started here for the Bobcats. They're down 6 runs. They only got 2 more opportunities to put runs on the board.
Here's the pitch, and Cadell's going to foul that off the plate and back to the screen on the bunt.
Attempting to bunt, attempting to do anything just to get on base. And if you look, third baseman's she seems a little far back. Might be something to consider.
Trying to square again. That one's going to be too low to bunt. Count at 1-1.
I think Keidel is going to have to, she's going to have to try to swing, do something, because they're picking up on this bunt early here.
Here's the pitch, and she will, and it's going to foul back out of play. Count goes to 1-2, and I'd imagine no more bunting for Keidel, at least in this at-bat.
No.
Need all the outs that Ohio's got left. They've only got 6 outs left to get at least some runs, and that's going to be chopped straight over to Vanderluck, over to first. Ground out 5-3. And Vanderluck's got quite a few of those choppers over to her, and she's done a really good job with all of them.
Yeah, Vanderluck has played amazing, especially considering she wasn't getting a lot of time on the field up until these last couple of games. She really has just kind of grown into herself here.
We're seeing that strange defense again for Tori O'Brien, the center fielder playing at second. And O'Brien's going to pop it up, and it's going to be caught by, I believe that's a shortstop, right? Yeah, third one in. It's a pop out to the shortstop, 2 outs. As back up to the top of the order to Bell Hummel. Hummel 0 for 3 on the day, reached twice on errors, one by the shortstop, one by the second baseman. Here's the pitch, and that's a chopper, and it's through. It's a base hit for Bell Hummel.
Finally, one of those hits isn't an error for Hummel, and she makes it
Yeah.
on base.
It's a first hit since the first inning for the Bobcats. Only their 4th hit of the day. And now Yasmin Logan up to bat. Logan 1 for 2, had a double in the first inning, a walk in the second, and flew out to right field in the 4th. And she's going to send that one out to right field. And barely having the move is Hannah Dixon, and that's going to be a fly out F9. And we head to the 7th. Toledo leads 9-3, looking for a bit more insurance here as you're listening to Max Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Lauren Erickson up to bat for the Rockets to lead off this 7th inning. Erickson 1 for 3 on the day, had that bases clearing triple, 3 RBIs in the first inning, and reached on an error as she'll foul that off. 0-1 the count now. Reached on an error back in the 3rd, and then struck out looking on a nasty. That was a tough fight, and it was a tough fight by Moore and Erickson her last time up, eventually with the strikeout looking.
It was a tough fight, and Erickson already fouling it straight at that Ohio dugout. That's what she did earlier.
That one's going to be sent out into right center field. It's at least 1, possibly 2. Throw in. It is a double for Lauren Erickson.
A nice, beautifully placed hit, beautiful contact, line drive. That was exactly what Erickson wanted to start off this inning.
So now we're going to have a pinch hitter, and it appears number 27. Yes, Maris Barbado, the sophomore from Columbiana, Ohio. Went to Youngstown Ursuline. 1 hit on the year and 11 at-bats. Here's the pitch. And she's going to send it out left field. That might be trouble. Over the wall, or not over the wall, but over the head and up against the wall. It's going to be an RBI double for Barbado.
Wow. To come in, first hit yet again, and just hit it up. And like you said, she'd only had 1 hit on the season. Make that 2, and make that an awesome one at that.
First RBI of the season for Barbado. As up to the plate now will be Aaliyah Mara.
One thing about Toledo, they're using a lot of their subs. I mean, they have themselves a nice lead, using their subs, and their subs are getting in there, and they're getting those hits.
Was that a strike or a ball? It was a check swing. Did not go. They're going to say that was a ball. So 1-0 the count against Mara. And they definitely are.
I think that kind of shows the depth of this Toledo lineup. They're able to just put anyone in there and find success.
That'll be a ball high, 2-0 the count. Mara with a pair of infield singles. sandwiching a fly out to center field. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. 2-1 the count. 10-3 Toledo leads. 10 runs on 13 hits with 3 errors for the Rockets.
Nice pitch right there from Moore.
Swing and a miss, and that one Mara got fooled badly by the off-speed pitch. Beautiful pitch there by Moore. It's now 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And it's over to O'Brien, who bobbles it and unable to pick it up in time. It's yet another error on this Bobcats team. That's going to be E4. And now runners on the corners. Still no outs for Sydney Griffith.
Once again, it's those errors. That's 4 now for Ohio, 7 combined throughout this game. That's not exactly what you want to see.
Here's the pitch, and it's lifted to center field. Moving over to the right to make the catch is Logan, but coming in to score will be Barbona. That will be a sac fly RBI for Sydney Griffith.
Back to the top of the lineup in Liam Munson.
We're going to have a pinch hitter, it looks like, for Munson. It'll be number 36. That will be Molly Ryan, the junior, 6'1" junior from Manhattan, Illinois, Lincoln Way West. On the season, only has 1 at-bat officially. Struck out, and then also got hit by a pitch and another plate appearance. Does have an RBI and has scored a run. Just a runner on first here.
Last time she played was in March 24th. But as we said, these subs have been coming in and having success. I mean, last one was a first hit double for Barbado.
That one going to be fouled up over the net, almost into the trash can. We'll go 0-1 on Molly Ryan. Ryan, 6'1". I think that's the tallest. She is the tallest person on this team for Toledo, and height runs in the family. Her brother Jack plays collegiate volleyball, and you got to be pretty tall for collegiate volleyball. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's going to be fouled back away. 0-2 the count now.
Yep, fouled. 2 fouls on her. She's gone in here looking to hit. She doesn't want to sit back. She doesn't want to wait for those balls or strikes. She's here to hit. And you're right, just looking at her, she's tall. She's a junior for the Rockets.
And here's the 0-2 pitch. A ball low. It'll be 1-2 the count now. Another substitution, this one on the base pass, was Lily Byer has come in to pinch run for Mara. That one's going to be fouled back away again.
All 3 of those fouls have been kind of in the same spot. It looks like she's getting around on the ball and just hitting it too far to the left, and they're all going high.
We'll do it again at 1-2 with a 1 out and a runner on first. And there's strike 3 looking. We'll have another pinch hitter here. Leah Tipple, the junior from Lancaster, Ohio. We had one from Tays Valley earlier. Now Lancaster's Leah Tipple, a junior, batting .200 on the year, 5 hits and 25 at-bats. 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs.
Yeah, seeing a lot of, Ohio girls, and especially with The Lancaster area, it's pretty close to Athens. They're probably pretty familiar with the area, I would say. Especially it being a beautiful day, getting to play down here.
Sure, there's some contingencies from Asheville and Lancaster down to watch them. As first pitch is going to be a ball just outside. 1-0 the count. (11-3), Toledo leads Ohio as the pitch. There's a strike right at the top of the zone there. 1-1 the count.
The last game that Tipple played in was back on May 7th again, or April 7th against Ball State. She went 0 for 2. Before that, she went 1 for 3 against Akron.
And it's going to be a ball. So that's now 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. High. 2-1 the count now.
Ohio's only hitting 200 on the day. Meanwhile, Toledo's 4-6-4.
That'll be fouled off, and the count runs even at 2-2.
Toledo with 13 hits so far today. Meanwhile, Ohio only has 5. Toledo struck out 3 times, and with runners on, Toledo's hitting .444. Pretty good stats, especially this deep into the game.
Here's the pitch. And it'll be through. Just good job leaping over it there by Ryan, as that'll be a single. Or excuse me, that wasn't Ryan. That wasn't Ryan. That was
Lily Byer.
Lily Byer.
2 outs. Toledo with runners on first and second. Kroll back up to bat.
Here's the pitch. And Kroll's going to send that one into the netting down past the left field line. Kroll on the day, 1 for 3. And a single and scored in the 3rd inning, then hit by a pitch last time up in the 6th.
Will be her 5th at bat of the day. It's crazy. You don't typically get to bat that many times in a game.
No, as there's a strike. 0-2 the count against Kroll. Here's the pitch. Off the end of the bat. Might be a little bit of trouble coming in, and making the grab will be Keidel. And that'll end the inning, but Toledo adds 2 more runs. Ohio finds themselves down 11-3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th here on Ohio Bobcat TV. And we'll start off the bottom of the 7th inning here for the Bobcats. They trail by 8. And Alexis Daw up to bat. Daw 0 for 3 on the day. Did reach and score on an error to the second baseman in the first inning, but the other one's ground out to second and short. She'll send that one. Oh, what a grab! Oh, my goodness. Riley Moore. She just reached out. The ball found her glove. She grabbed the ball and it took her momentum right to first base. A ground out 3 unassisted. My goodness, what a play.
Wow, that was perfect right there for Moore. I mean, literally, like you said, she just stuck her glove out, and it looked like it almost snow-coned. It was in the very top of her glove.
First pitch for Emma Hoffner is going to be a strike. Hoffner on the day. I think officially, Hoffner on the day is 0 for 1. With a sacrifice bunt, RBI, or excuse me, a sac fly. So that second pitch is going to be strike 0 and 2. Hoffner with a sac fly in the first inning, a walk in the third, and then popped out to the pitcher last time up in the 5th. That one's a swing and a miss. That is a 3-pitch strikeout for Hoffner. And now Analia Paoli, the last hope for the Bobcats here in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, but they're down to their final out. 11-3, final couple pitches.
And that one's going to be lifted into left field. That is a base hit. Only able to get her second hit of the day. And now up to the bat, Sydney Grine. Grine 1 for 2 on the day. Had a double in the first inning. Struck out looking in the third and then walked in the 5th. Runner on first, and Grine will foul it back into the screen. 0 and 1. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Bobcats trail Toledo 11-3.
A little bit of a last chance effort here for Grine.
Pitch just a little bit high. 1 and 1 the count.
I mean, can we commend Sophia Knight here for the way that she has pitched this game. A little bit of a rocky start, but absolute shutdown since then. The only pitcher for Toledo throughout this game, and she has just done a great job at setting these Bobcats down over and over.
Last pitch was fouled back. It's now 1 and 2 as the Bobcats down to their final strike. Knight delivers, and it'll be lifted into left field. Running out there is the shortstop, Griffith, and she's able to get that pop out. And that'll be the end of game 1. Toledo pulls away, winning 11-3, as Ohio did a good job of responding at the end of the bottom of the first inning, able to tie the game at 3. But after that, it was really all Toledo, and much to the help of Knight, as, I mean, just an unbelievable pitching performance by Sophia Knight. Held the Bobcats scoreless held the Bobcats scoreless after that first inning and hitless for much of the game.
Yep, and Toledo did a great job with their bats. I mean, they didn't exactly have, any of those big hits, but they hit whenever it mattered most. Leading things for them, Lauren Erickson, she went 3 for 4. They double and 4 RBIs. Amazing offensive performance for the Rockets.
Absolutely. Ohio will have to bounce back in game 3 of this series, and that's coming up in just about 30 minutes, so stay tuned right here on Bobcat TV. But until then, for Chloe G. Workman, I'm Carl Blaylock. Stay tuned. Game 3 coming up in about 30 minutes right here on Bobcat TV.